And this is Mike Renoir, Northwest Fight Scene, NWFightScene.com. I'm here with Drew Brokenshire, the CageSport 145-pound champion, ahead of your next title defense, a week and a plus out, Emerald Queen Casino against Shorty Weichel. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, a little tired. It's a long grind leading up to a 5-round fight, but I'm feeling good and ready to go.
Now, talk about the rest of this week and next week. What do you have coming ahead of you in terms of training? We're on Thursday night, so I guess 9 days out from the fight.
Yeah, I mean, my last hard day of training is pretty much Saturday. I'll do a little bit next week, get my heart rate up a few times, but next week's kind of the relaxed week. Make sure I'm healthy, make sure I'm primed and ready to go. But this Saturday will be my last hard day. Trevor Jackson, my coach, coming down. I'll have a bunch of different guys rotating on me, doing some wrestling and things like that. So it'll just be one last final day, and I can't wait for it to be over.
I bet. Now, you're just coming off your pro boxing debut, which you won. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That was now just June 1st, June 2nd, something like that, so a few weeks ago. Talk about that experience.
It was a great experience, I haven't done much boxing. I had one little boxing match I did a while ago when I was an amateur, and it was definitely different. I have a lot to learn in the boxing realm. I need a lot of experience, so I plan on getting some of that, trying to go to some boxing gyms to get some experience fighting strictly boxers and see how that goes. And I plan on continuing my boxing career in the future. Who knows when my next battle will be, though.
Right. Now, in terms of getting ready for this fight, do you think when did you know, one, that you had Shorty as an opponent and that you were fighting coming up here?
Honestly, I'm not sure. It wasn't too long before they announced it. We've actually been talking about fighting Shorty for a while now, just because he's one of the top guys around, and so we've had our eye on him. And they had an opponent for me from Montana. He backed out, and Shorty accepted. So I was excited to be able to face off against him.
Well, did boxing mess up the training at all for you, or is that kind of how did you shift from boxing to MMA?
No, actually, I think it helped out a lot. My weight's pretty low right now because I had to make weight not too long ago for the boxing, and I got to work on my striking with my hands, and I think it'll show a little bit in my fight. And I got to get my cardio up a bit for it, and it was a nice little segue into my training for my MMA bout.
Okay, now let's talk about Shorty. He's a tough kid. Been around fighting for a long time in the Northwest. A lot of amateur fights. I think he's 9-3 as a pro. A lot of submission wins. He's known as a submission specialist. How are you going to counteract that?
Hopefully not get taken down, but I usually do. So I'm ready for everything. But he's definitely great on the ground. So I'll be ready. I'm not too shabby down there. So I'll be ready to fight wherever the fight goes.
Have you seen him fight before?
I've seen some of his videos, and he's definitely tough, gritty guy, and he's very slick on the ground.
All right, now this fight at CageSport, 145-pound championship. There's a couple of 145-pounders that are going to be fighting in a semi-main event. Lee Morrison and Julian DeRosa, and now of course you fought both these guys. Lost to Lee, but you beat Julian for the title. Talk about how do you think that fight's going to go?
That one's kind of a coin flip for me. I think, or Lee Morrison, he beat me, so, I'm hoping that he gets through so we can face off again and maybe I can get that win back. But I think it's a tough fight. Julian's got great takedown defense. He's got good striking. Morrison's got great wrestling, and he's good at the ground and pound. So, styles make fights, and I think that's going to be an exciting one to see who comes out on top. I believe that the short amount of time that it will be, being 3 rounds instead of 5, kind of favors Morrison because his control on the ground, can steal rounds that way. So it'll be very interesting. I'll definitely be watching while I'm warming up.
Now, your fight with Morrison was how long ago?
It had to have been back in like almost a year ago now.
A year plus maybe.
A year ago.
Talk about that loss. You're I know on the CageSport website it says you're 7-2, but I think you're 6-1 as a pro. Is that right?
Right.
So that's your one loss as a pro. Talk about that loss and what you learned from it.
I mean, I didn't learn too much new from it. Wrestling's always been kind of my bane, and we've been working hard on it. But Morrison was another level, and he showed that, and he ended up winning the decision against me. So I'm with West Coast Fight Team now, so they've been helping me out. John Mariansky, Reese Andy. I think I'll have a lot of surprises for wrestlers when they come at me again. So they've been helping me out a ton, and I think my wrestling's getting a lot better.
Okay, now CageSport, it seems like you have a good relationship with them. Talk about that.
CageSport's great. They run a real professional show. I enjoy being on it, and it's right in my hometown. I live not too far from it, so I'm able to draw a pretty big crowd there, and it's exciting and it's fun. The crowd, the last two fights against Enoch and Julian were great because the energy was just crazy there. That pretty much sold out crowds, and I've never experienced anything like it. The crowds were always great, so I'm excited to go there again and do the same thing.
Well, how about sponsors for this fight?
Same sponsors as usual. We got Universal Clothing. Got to thank my coach Trevor Jackson. He's always there helping me out. We got Academy of Brian Johnson, where we are right now. West Coast Fight Team, who's always helping me out. I'm there the majority of the week. Rainier CrossFit's always helping me out. They're great people up there in Sumner. I got Action Tattoo in Auburn. Rich White always there to back me up, and that's pretty much it. So
You heard it here. Drew, Brokenshire ahead of your 145-pound title defense, CageSport 25. Thank you, sir.
thank you.